What if I told you that China may be preparing a long-term strategic move against the United States? One so calculated that even years of effort might not be enough for Washington to counter it. Let's break this down calmly and strategically. Recently, intelligence leaks in the U.S. have created serious debate. Reports suggest that if America gets deeply involved in a prolonged conflict with Iran, its stockpile of precision missiles and interceptors could be significantly strained. A large portion has already been supplied to Ukraine and Israel, and substantial defensive systems are deployed across multiple regions. Now here's where China enters the picture. Analysts speculate that Beijing could see such a scenario as an opportunity. If the U.S. depletes a large portion of its missile defense systems, like Patriot or THAAD interceptors, its ability to respond quickly in the Taiwan Strait could weaken. Think about the strategic timing. If U.S. missile stocks are stretched thin defending assets in the Middle East, how effectively could it respond elsewhere? That's the central concern being discussed in policy circles. There's also debate around asymmetric warfare. For example, reports from Yemen show that relatively inexpensive drones were sometimes countered using extremely costly cruise missiles. Over time, that exchange ratio becomes expensive and unsustainable. Now imagine this scenario multiplied across multiple theaters. Another development raising eyebrows involves reports of a former US F-35 pilot allegedly being investigated for providing unauthorized training to foreign personnel. While details remain unclear, the broader concern in Washington has long been about technological intelligence gathering by China. If Beijing understands U.S. air combat doctrine, missile defense positioning, or carrier strike group strategies, that changes calculations significantly. Let's talk about Taiwan. China has repeatedly stated that Taiwan is a core national interest. The United States maintains commitments under the Taiwan Relations Act. If Washington becomes deeply entangled elsewhere, Beijing may interpret that as reduced response capability. Would China act immediately? No one knows. But strategic planners certainly consider timing windows. Now here's another angle. Some reports suggest the U.S. encouraged Israel to take the lead in potential operations, with America supporting from behind the scenes. That approach could theoretically limit direct U.S.-Iran confrontation. However, Iran's leadership, including Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, has publicly stated that their system does not depend on one individual. Iranian officials have emphasized institutional continuity, regardless of leadership changes. That message signals long-term resilience. Economically, Iran faces severe challenges. Yet politically and strategically, it presents itself as unwilling to back down under pressure. That posture complicates any quick resolution expectations. Meanwhile, China's larger economic ambitions also factor in. Beijing has steadily promoted the yuan in global trade, seeking alternatives to dollar dominance. In times of global instability, financial markets react sharply. Oil prices spike, stock markets fluctuate, investors retreat. Strategic competition is no longer just military. It's financial, technological, and informational. And here's the bigger question. Is the United States being pulled into multi-front strategic exhaustion? Or is this simply strategic signaling from all sides? Former President Donald Trump has previously emphasized avoiding prolonged overseas entanglements. That reflects a broader fatigue within segments of the American public after decades of conflict. At the same time, China has shown it is willing to play the long game, economically, militarily, and diplomatically. So what are we witnessing? A carefully timed geopolitical chessboard, or an overestimation of coordinated strategy? The coming months will reveal far more. This isn't just about one region. It's about global power balance. You're watching Truth Uncovered. Share your thoughts below, because the world is entering a very sensitive phase.